Let's pay homage to the latest gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zheng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Maha Mayuri Buddha. 四摩当真卡祖Dupten Siddhi Dupten Karma. All Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do?
你好，大家好。现在感恩愛してる知らないオラミコ経験の無常すごい一番気持ちいい住民やっぴプリンプリンこんにちは。现在通知大家
I would like to announce for next Sunday, May 11th at 3 p.m.
是圣观音护摩
There would be Arya Avalokiteswara Homa fire offering ceremony.
圣观音
And the empowerment would be to be the wealthiest person, Dharma practice of the Arya Avalokiteswara.
种子日
The seed syllable is
色的
yellow, se, seed syllable.
它的心咒
The mantra
以后达扎不遮咕噜亚所哈。这个圣观音第一护好法
Arya Avalokiteswara, wealthiest person, Dharma practice.
有某一个单位说
There
这
is
是佛法，
an organization that stated
第一护好
that's not Dharma
这个不是
practice,
佛法。
that's not Buddha Dharma. The Avalokiteswara, wealthiest person, Dharma practice is not Buddha Dharma according to that group.
大圣的说法，
But according to Mahayana
什么是
tradition,
佛法？
everything is Buddha Dharma.
没有不是佛法。
There is nothing that's not Buddha Dharma.
住行
All daily activities, eating, sleeping, living, traveling,
都是佛法。
and desires and joys, they're all Buddha
那
Dharma.
如果是关系到钱，就不是
If anything related to money is not Buddha Dharma,
那个密教的
then
黄财神、红财神，
the tantric yellow Jambala, red Jambala, black Jambala, white Jambala,
五路财神，
the five directional Jambalas are not Buddha Dharma then?
其实讲起来什么都是法。财
But
色
strictly
名
speaking, everything is Buddha Dharma, including wealth, lust, and fame.
那你要讲分别什么是佛法，
If you want to discriminate what is Buddha Dharma and what is not
都
Buddha
大家都
Dharma,
不要生孩子，
then you will not produce any offsprings.
都不要生孩子嘛。
You will not produce
那
any
世界整个
offsprings.
地球都没有人，
Then there would be no humans left on earth. Then only then that was Buddha Dharma.
不对。
That's not right.
什么都是佛法，
Everything is Buddha
任
Dharma.
何东西按照维摩诘经
Anything according to the Vimalakirti Sutra,
都是佛法。
lust, rage, and foolishness are Buddha Dharma.
都是佛法，
Well, lust and fame are Buddha Dharma.
只是看你会懂不懂转化。
It's just depending on whether you know how to transform them or not.
转化
Whether you know how to transform them
都不是佛法，
or not. If you say
三藏都
that wealth is not Buddha Dharma, then let's take down the Rainbow Villa. Why did we build Rainbow Villa for then?
所有的建设都不要，
Right?
那都是我们去做的。
Buildings we should be taken down because they were built with money. Any constructions should be abolished.
大家过原始人的生活，
Then we live in the ancient time. Only then that was Buddha Dharma.
就是财，这个关系到钱的都不是佛法。
So if you say anything related to money is not Buddha Dharma, then that's not right.
财色名都是佛法。
So
淫怒知，
wealth, lust,
在维摩诘经里面讲淫怒知
and fame,
都是佛法。
and according to Vimalakirti Sutra, lust, anger, and delusion are Buddha
都
Dharma.
是佛法。
So if you say that rage is not Buddha Dharma,
神
anger,
佛法。
but if you become Heruka, that's also Buddha Dharma.
所以你想要得名，
So if you want to be famous,
证明你自己是佛是菩萨吗？那你这
don't you want to prove that you're Buddha or Bodhisattva by by attaining
也
Buddhahood?
是佛法。
And so that's agreed, and then that's not Buddha Dharma, it is Buddha Dharma.
都是佛法。
So greed, anger, and delusion are Buddha Dharma. So lust, rage, and ignorance are Buddha Dharma. It depends
所以
on
以前
whether you can transform them or not.
基博士，
So in the past, Karma
他
Chang,
过的弟子，
which was a disciple with whom I had blessed,
他写
he was in New York and he wrote a
什
book
么是佛法？
entitled What is Buddha Dharma?
李炳南老居士
And the
说，
elder lady Li Bingnan saw that book
什么都是
and
佛法，还要
defame
什
and
么是佛法？还想是
rebuff him. Everything is Buddha Dharma. Why did he write such a book?
圣观音第一护法法，
So Arya Avalokitesvara, wealthiest person Dharma practice is Buddha Dharma.
气死老婆。讲过了，孔雀明王是三个佛，
We've talked about this, that Mahamayuri
带的
is the union of three Buddhas.
毗卢遮那佛，
On his crown is Vairocana Buddha, the crown of Vairocana Buddha.
毗卢遮那佛，
Vairocana Buddha.
这个阿弥陀佛的极乐世界，
And Amitabha Buddha's Sukhavati Pure Land,
孔雀
Amitabha manifested
啊，
uh,
命之鸟，
peacocks,
是阿弥陀
parrots,
佛本身的
Kalavinkas, Jivajikas. Those are all Amitabha Buddha's transformation
释迦牟尼
bodies.
佛
And Sakyamuni Buddha,
是
in
当菩
one
萨
of his 500 past lives as bodhisattvas, once was in the animal realm
当过孔雀王，
and as a peacock king.
释迦牟尼佛的等流身，
So the equal body of Sakyamuni Buddha.
所以孔雀明王
So Mahamayuri is Vairocana Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, and Sakyamuni Buddhas. These three Buddhas
所演化的，
manifestation.
还有4个法器，
with 4 Dharma implements: white
孔
lotus,
雀鱼、
peacock
巨
feather,
果、吉祥果、
affinity fruit, and auspicious fruit. Those are her or his Dharma implements.
这一尊它可以息灾，
This
可
deity
以增益，
can purify or eradicate
也可以
calamities,
降服。
enrich,
孔雀鱼
magnify, magnetize, or
白色
subjugate.
莲花是息灾的，
The peacock feather to subjugate, white lotus to
可以接引
purify,
众生的。
or also by to
吉
deliver.
祥果是代表增益的，
The auspicious fruit symbolizes enrichment, and the red affinity fruit is for magnetization or love and
息
respect.
灾、增益。
So this deity can purify, enrich, magnify, and subjugate.
还有孔雀明王，还有地震法。
And there's also the earthquake suppression practice of Mahamayuri.
你修孔雀明王法，
If you practice Mahamayuri Dharma
东南西北，
and obtain some earth or soil
然后
from the north, south, east, and west,
再分
and then perform the
送回东南
practice,
西北，再把它
and then
填起来
return the soil to the exact place, and it would suppress
还
an
有地
earthquake.
震法。
That's the earthquake suppression practice.
那个土不要增加，也不要减少。
So do not
你拿
add
1公斤
or increase or decrease the soil.
东南西
If
北
it's 1 kilogram, exactly 1 kilogram.
1公斤的土，1公斤
From
的土，
the north to the north, south,
方
east, and
圆
west,
内就不会地震。
then within the boundary of those areas will be free from earthquakes.
它拥有一切哦，这个孔雀明王，孔雀明王
So
眷属，
Mahamayuri, and there's also Mahamayuri retinue, including the 7 Buddhas above, and Maitreya in the center, and then to the left and right, Pratika Buddhas and Shravakas,
星宿
the 8 heavenly kings, the 28
全部都是孔雀
planetary stars, and the 9
还有它的
palaces, they're all part of the retinue of Mahamayuri.
大孔雀明王法，可以祈求国家平安，小
And the Mahamayuri practice
的
can
猪流感，
provide safety for the country and also
很多毛病
cure
很多病
bird flus and many illnesses.
这一尊很伟大。
This deity is truly great.
讲个笑话吧。
Let me share some jokes.
女的问男的：“你真的愿意跟我在一起吗
The woman asked the man,
？”男的讲
"Are you sure you want to be together with me?" And the man said, "Sure. The first time I saw you, I like you."
女的问，
And the woman asked, "What do you like about
男的
me?"
讲：“你
And the man said, "You're young and beautiful
充满了活力。
and lively." ”
女的问：“你是
And
没
the
有见
woman
过那么
asked,
多漂亮的女孩子吧？
"You must not have met many beautiful women." And the
我
man
们
said,
单位哦，有1000多个女的嘞，
"But at
都
my
不如你。
my company, there are over 1,000 women, and none of them are as beautiful as you are."
是哪一个单位？
And the woman said, "Oh, you're a sweet talker. What place do you work for? The senior home."
在老人院
the senior home.
妻子问先生
The wife asked the
我问你
husband,
呀
Let me
如果
ask
你
you,
当上皇上
if you become an emperor, what would you like to do?
先生回答你猜一猜
And the husband asked, Guess. The
我
wife
够
said,
佳丽3000
You have 3,000 concubines
丈夫说不是
at the inner palace. And the husband said, No.
金万两
Then thousands of kilos of gold.
那
No.
你想做什么
Then what would you want or
丈夫
do?
讲
And the
我
husband
就把
said,
你打入冷宫
I would send you to the cold palace.
老师问小明
The teacher asked
夜
Xiaoming,
长什么多
Oh, this is a Chinese idiom.
小明回答尿多
The idiom is at the long night, there are lots of dreams, but Xiaoming said lots of peace.
小明回答买不起
This is also another.
老师问360行哪一行最危险小明回答抢银行
Yeah, it's just Chinese homophone.
小
For
明
the
聪明
360 days, which one is the most dangerous? It's robbing the bank. But anyway, it's just Xiaoming's too smart.
哎这个好像讲过了
I think I've told this joke. We can
小
Tell
明
it
拿着
again.
90分的语文
Xiaoming
回家
brought a composition that got a score of 90 home
爸爸看了就
and thought that his dad would praise him.
硬说零
When the dad saw,
上去
insisted that I added the 0 to the
觉得
90
很委屈
and
其实我想
beat me up.
零不是我
And I felt bad. I didn't add the 0, I added the 9.
好了进入你问我答
Okay, now let's do the Q&A question from Taiwan,
景星问
from the Liansong
莲花景星
Center, Lotus Jingxin.
一般在家的众
Most lay practitioners have families and
工
jobs,
作跟生活环境中
and
脱离
in the environment of work and daily life, it's very difficult to be free from wealth, lust, fame, food, and sleep, and the 5 poisons.
要能够完全
It's quite challenging for the lay Buddhists to practice with complete
相信许多
purity,
同门
and I believe many Dharma siblings face the same issue.
弟子知道修行重要是要
I understand that most important in cultivation is to maintain a pure mind
信念相许
and
有不清净的念
best to sustain an unbroken stream of pure thoughts.
会以
But whenever impure thoughts arise, when I become aware of them,
自己
I would use verses from the Vajra Sutra and Heart Sutra to remind myself.
在家念诵
In addition to daily practices, I also recite 100-syllable mantra 50 times before sleep, hoping to purify my own body and mind.
是师尊这样做对
May I ask if this is correct?
正确有更正
What would
有效
be
的
more accurate and effective way to do this?
弟子祈请师尊开示
I sincerely request for Grandmaster's advice.
密教修行的
Second,
次第
The stages of tantric cultivation begin with the Guru Yuga and then the inner practices. But Grandmaster also has said
可以同时修
that the yidam practice and inner practice can be cultivated simultaneously. Is it possible to have attainment in inner practices before the yidam spiritual response? So, huge buildings, how do you, when you build a tall buildings like the 101, can you build the second floor first before the first floor? It's impossible. So if the rule is to follow the stages in the tantric practices, first you need to complete all the practices of the 4 preliminary foundation practices, and then the yoga practices, and then the inner practices, and then the highest yoga tantra before the heruka practices, and even the higher practices. That would be fine. Follow the stages, the 4 preliminary practices, the yoga, deity yogas, the inner practices, and then the highest yoga tantra, and then to the higher ones. Highest ones. Those are the stages. So the high-rise buildings start from the foundation. You can jump, or you start from the top to bottom in spiritual cultivation. That's impossible. If you don't gain any spiritual response or fruition in the lower practices, your yidams will not be able to help you. Because to have spiritual responses, you need your yidams to help you. If you don't gain any spiritual union with your yidams, how can you attain fruition in your inner practices? So the 4 preliminary practices are the foundation of tantric practices. The great offering, fourfold refuge, repentance, generating bodhicitta are most important. The 4 preliminary practices are most important. And also the great prostration. Those are most important. So the 3 attainments in Tantrayana through mantra recitations, homa or meditation, which category does inner practice belong to? And in Taoism, the practice of opening the Ren and Tu channels, is that considered inner practice? So opening the 3 burners, what are they? What is it? The upper Dantian or upper Yuan, middle Dantian at the heart chakra, and the lower Dantian at the navel chakra. If you open these 3, that's called opening the 3 burners. And then the Ren and Tu channels are considered also inner practices. That's tantric inner practices. We can say that there are similarities between Taoism and tantric practices. Like the Ren Tu channels, the opening the 3 burners are related to the tantric inner practices. Attainment through mantra recitations, homa, and meditation. So what kind of attainments are those? Those are tantric 3 attainments, 3 kinds of attainments. Attainment through mantra recitation is you chant mantra until you generate clear light radiance. And then attainment through homa is when doing Homa, you can invoke your yidams, you can merge with the yidam, then you can gain spiritual response and spiritual union with the yidam. And attainment through meditation is samadhi, that you can meditate single-pointedly. Then you would have no random thoughts. Then all the myriad thoughts are eradicated when you are single-pointed. That's called samaya, samadhi. It would be mentioned in the Surangama Sutra. About the first question, that's good already. Reciting 100 Silver Mantra 50 times. That's a very good method. Is to all the random thoughts and bad or unwholesome thoughts to be purified. That's a very good way, because they want to purify their own thoughts from the wealth, lust, fame, food, and sleep. What ways can we do that? By reciting 100 Silver Mantra or reminding themselves with verses from the Vajra Sutra or Heart Sutra. That's right, because 100 Silver Mantra is a very good repentance practice. It's an excellent repentance practice. That would be most effective. Lotus Jingxin. Good questions. How come there's such a joke? Lotus Huichu. The woman asked the man, I'm asking you, how come you never do laundry at home? And the husband said, my mom taught me since youth not to play with water. And the wife asked again, how come you never cook? And the husband replied, and my mom always told me not to play with the fire. So he doesn't cook, he doesn't wash. I don't know. Last joke. If you marry the right person and you cough, they would care that you catch a cold. If you marry the wrong guy, the wrong person, even if you hang yourself, they just treat you as if you're playing a swing. That would be too scary. Now let's discuss the Surangama Sutra. Repeating. Ananda, upon hearing the words of Sakyamuni Buddha, again wept sorrowfully. He started to shed tears again and prostrated with all 5 limbs on the ground. What are they? 5 points. One is the forehead, 2 hands or
两
two
只脚
arms and two
跪在
knees,
地面，就是
two legs on the ground.
两手两足额头贴在地面，
So
头
two arms, two legs, and the
地
forehead
接触，然后长跪合掌，
on the ground, and then knelt with joined palms and
而白佛言，
said to the Buddha,
他跟释迦牟尼佛讲，自我从佛发
Since the
心，
day I followed the Buddha to become a monk,
我跟着释迦牟尼佛，
I followed Sakyamuni Buddha to generate bodhicitta, willing to become a monk.
因为佛
I had relied on the Buddha's majestic
感动
power
我，
because the Buddha's majestic power had
常常
touched
自己
me.
这样子想，
I
常常
always
自己
thought
思维
to myself,
说我常常这样子想，无劳我修，我可能不必
I need not exert myself in
安静
cultivation.
下来去修行，
I do not need
将
to
为如来
quiet
会
down and cultivate.
如来啊，释迦牟尼佛
The Tathagata Sakyamuni Buddha will grant me samadhi.
释迦牟尼佛会赐给我禅定，三昧就是禅定，
So samadhi is meditation.
那都叫三昧。在
In
印度以前
ancient time in India, it's called samadhi.
法师
All the
三昧，三昧就是禅定的意思。
Dharma works
禅定，
are considered samadhi,
这个
sanmei.
是
And then later on,
唐朝三藏法师去西域以后回来，
when after the
西安
the Venerable Sanjang
把
when
三昧
of Tang Dynasty
三
went to India, changed Samaya into Samadhi.
后来的经典
So the latter sutra translations
翻译
that were translated by
三昧
Xuanzang,
才改成三昧。
Samaya, Sanmei, became Samadhi. Samadhi is closer to the English pronunciation,
睡觉就是四摩地，
and sleep is
更深的禅定。
for this is like Zimadi. That's even deeper meditation. So when we joke,
三昧
Samadhi and Zimadi, sleep.
禅定里面，三昧、三摩地都叫做禅定。
So Sanmei or Samadhi
这个阿难尊者
meditation are
讲
called meditation.
身心本不相待，
So Ananda continued,
是我的身体，
I did not realize that body and mind cannot be substituted by
别人没有
another.
办法代替的。好像你出家发心，跟随释迦牟尼佛，你都没有修。希望释
Like
迦牟尼佛是
You followed Sakyamuni Buddha, but you don't
哪有
practice,
这回事？
and then you wish that Sakyamuni Buddha would give you samadhi or meditation. How
释迦
could
牟
that
尼佛
be?
能够入定，
Meditation is your own
禅定，
thing.
你的禅定。
Sakyamuni Buddha could enter meditation, that's his meditation, not yours. And your meditation is yours. It cannot be substituted, or samadhi cannot be given.
所以有人讲说，哎，我
So someone said,
你就会禅定，
let me give you a blessing and then you would know how to meditate. There is no
那
such
只是一种
things.
力量。
Blessings is just a power, but meditation is something that you need to practice yourself.
不知身心本不相待，没有所谓替代。
So did not realize that body and mind cannot be substituted by another.
那
I lost my
我也
true
找不到
mind,
我自己本
my
身的
original
佛
mind.
性
I could not find my own original Buddha nature.
虽然我的身体理光
Though my body became ordained,
穿了袈裟，
shaved my
像
head,
出家人，
wearing kasaya robe
心
that looked like
根
an
本就没有出
ordained
家，
monk, but
还是跟世俗
his heart mind has not become ordained, still like a mundane person,
穷子舍父
like a
逃
poor son abandoning his father and running
就是
away.
说，这里用父子来做比喻，
So this use father and son as an
家
analogy.
里可以享福的，
So if the father is very rich and you can enjoy
你出去去
niceties at
去外
home,
面流浪，
but instead you left home, wandering around, had no money.
你本来就是有这个佛性的，
So you
用
had
佛性去追逐
Buddha
别的
nature
性，
before and you abandoned that and you try to seek other kinds of mind. That's an analogy.
啊，不管家里有没有钱，他自己出去闯事业，
So the son,
结果就是失败。
no matter they have
但是
money
他
or
家里
not
本身就
in the family, they left home and failed outside.
可以自己享福的，他没有享，他跑
But
到外面流
actually,
浪，
at home, they could just enjoy their fortune, but he did not, and
表示自己本身有
wandering
佛性，
around outside the
但
home.
是他不认得自己的佛性，
It meant that he had Buddha nature, but he did not recognize it, and he went outside
虽
looking
有
for
多
it.
闻，若不修行，一不闻。
Today, I finally understand,
今天才知
even
道，
with vast learning,
虽然我听释迦牟尼佛说法那么久，但是自己如果没有实修，跟没有听差不多嘛， 是一样的。
without cultivation is the same as
听法那么
having
久都没有实修，
as not having heard anything at all. So even if you hear the Buddha Dhamma, but you don't put it into
你虽然
practice,
听很多佛法，
it's the same as not hearing it.
讲了好多，
So you've
但
heard
是你都没有实
Grandmaster Lu talk about many sutras, and you just hear and listen, but you don't put them into practice. You don't really practice.
那跟不听有什么关系？有什么不
Then
同？
is there any difference from not hearing it? It's the same as if you haven't heard
还有
anything.
一个比喻，有人讲，
And there's another analogy.
我当然知道，
If someone said certain food is delicious,
我喜欢吃
of course I know that Taiwanese food are delicious.
麻给，
I love the bake,
那有钱就去买，
the meat soup.
挖会
Whenever I have money, I would buy it, or a bowl,
挖会啊，当阿米哥
cake,
啊，当阿米哥挖会，
rice
这
cake,
个荤泥
um,
啊，安菇粿，
all kinds of
好好吃，
glutinous rice cake,
有
dumpling,
米粿，
or the fried
是加上面
bread. Those are very delicious.
口水直流。
I'm salivating.
你念了很多啊，
So
肚子会饱吗？
you talk so much about it, but will you feel full? No, because you didn't eat it.
还有婚前，南部啊，台湾南部
And
有婚前，北部就没有。
other food that only exists in southern Taiwan.
没有这
If you go to northern Taiwan like Taipei, there is no such food,
很喜欢
only in the south. When I was young, I loved to eat it.
在高雄
Certain kind of dumpling, I think.
都有婚前，
So in Kaohsiung or south of Chiayi, but not north of Chiayi, it doesn't exist.
有婚的
So there's a difference.
啊，婚礼
Like when we eat
大一点的婚礼就是波霸奶茶，
like the
我们小的时候
nowadays that become boba, boba.
波霸奶茶。
Now it's become huge. In the little, when we were little, we eat something tinier, small. But the boba pearls are very chewy and delicious. Just talking about it, it makes you drooling.
但是你是讲口水之糖。
But if you only talk about it,
不会啊。
you will not feel full.
好像你在吃啊，哇，今天吃一餐大餐，
So
大餐好好吃，没有。
when you eat the big meal, everything is delicious.
看我都吞口水。
See, I swallowed my saliva.
点心的做得很好。
Someone made snacks in the Rainbow Temple, and
这个花卉
she made very good snacks.
去磨，
They use
上面放
whole wheat and then toast it and until sticky, and then put some sauce.
肉燥也可以啦。还有
ground meat.
以前花卉上面都会放上那个。
On top of the rice cake, they put some soy sauce, dried daikon, and in the sauce they add an egg. It's very delicious. So she could make that rice cake. Wow, it was so delicious. Made by a Malaysian reference. Is she here? She made really good snacks, like the deep fried balls. Deep fried, and inside it's what, beans?
哦，骂完，还有那个
meatballs.
外面是炸的。
It's deep fried outside,
红豆沙
and inside is red bean.
莲洗呀，
That's made by
鹰嘴豆加那个豆沙，
Master Lian Xi.
你做的？
是他做的。
这小子也会做。
So she knew how to make that too.
哎，他们做的点心都很好吃哦。
So the snacks they make are delicious.
我知道马来西亚一个做那个鱼丸的。
I knew someone from Malaysia who made really special fish balls with 3 sisters. 陈美心。
他们做的那个鱼丸，他们专门卖鱼丸。
They sell fish balls in Malaysia. So I asked, did you put some something, some chemicals? And they said no, they use a special fish and then pound them to make it they use a certain kind of fish, and they would bring it all the way to Seattle. And I would eat it every day for half a month. So they use mackerel fish. But talking about it, there's no use. You will not feel full. You have to eat it to be full. So like someone merely speaking of food, he will never feel full. Only when you eat it, you will feel full. And he said, Sakyamuni Buddha, all of us are now entangled by 2 obscurations.
这两种障碍是什么障碍？
What are these two hindrances? They refer to one is afflictions, one is knowledge.
一个是烦恼。
So obscuration due to knowledge and due to afflictions, because what we know is not necessarily the truth.
这个叫做所知障。
So that's called obscuration due to knowledge.
其实不是
What you think is true is not necessarily true.
所知障。
That's called obscuration due to knowledge. For example,
你好美丽。
you're very beautiful. That's
现在很
right.
美丽。
Now you're beautiful.
20几岁很美。
In your 20s, you're very
你
beautiful.
到了60几岁你就知道
But
了。
when you reach 60s, you would know. Would you still be
你到了
beautiful?
80岁，到了90岁，
When you're in your
讲
90s,
你很美丽。
and then when someone said that you're very beautiful,
阿弥陀佛的老人院的老女人
Amitabha.
有哪一个美丽的？
So all the elderly ladies in the senior home,
我们有一个
which
朋友
one would be
莲花
beautiful? We have a disciple called Lotus Beautiful. The lotus is beautiful,
这个凋谢了，莲花凋谢了，
but when it
老
wilt,
了就不美。
when it's old, then you're not beautiful anymore.
哎，新加坡有一个莲花美丽，
So we have
他的
Lotus
先生
Mei Li, Lianhua Mei Li from
看
Singapore,
了莲花美丽以后，
and her husband.
年轻的时候我看过他，
I've seen her when she was young. She was really lotus beautiful, really very beautiful.
我去新加坡的时候是50几岁，
When I went to Singapore, I was in my 50s. Now 30 years have passed. I'm in my 80s, and now looking at her,
莲花美丽，
lotus beautiful, cannot be said. I don't dare to say anything.
那你这时候你看到他先生会掏出一张照片，
So now the husband would take out a photos
给你看，
of Lianhua Mei Li when she was young.
真的很美丽。
Wow, that was really beautiful.
真的，我看过谁啊？
Really, I have seen
在香港有一个唱那个
in
西
Hong
洋歌
Kong
曲很有名的，
there was a very famous singer who sang Western songs. What's the name?
在香港有一个唱西洋歌曲非常有名的，
A very famous
忘掉他的名字了。
singer from Hong Kong that I forgot the name.
他的妈妈来过我们这里，
Her mother came here
她掏出一张照片出来，
and showed us a photo.
躺在沙发上，
There's a lady lying on the sofa
躺的曲线玲珑，
and with such a very,
这不得了，
very beautiful figure,
奇哦，
extremely beautiful.
看那你都会流口水。
Just super gorgeous, and you would be drooling seeing that. And I asked, who was that? That's her, she said. Oh my
现在
gosh.
跟老菩萨一样，
Now she's just like the old Bodhisattva.
所以都不是真实的。
So that's the
这世界
none of it is truthful.
都在变化之中。没有一样真实那个
All the six deaths in the world are ever changing. There is no truth for you to
这是所知障。
So that's obscuration due to
以
knowledge,
前有一个
due to knowing.
他的
There was a song artist who performed all over the
在菲
world.
律宾年轻的时候，
When she was
有
young,
个男朋友
she had a boyfriend
到海外，
in the Philippines
然后有
performing abroad.
有钱的华侨
And there was a very wealthy overseas Chinese courting her,
在一起过，
and they were together for a while.
因为
And then later on, they separated.
有一次他要跟我们到阿拉斯加，
And one time, they wanted to come with us to
写
Alaska.
封信
And then she wrote a letter to that ex-boyfriend in the Philippines. Come,
我们去阿拉斯加玩。
let's go to Alaska together.
他看到他的信，他马上给他买机票，
So
送钱，
he received the letter, immediately bought the plane
就飞过来，飞到阿拉斯加。
and gave money to the ex-girlfriend and flew to Alaska to meet.
然后你们见面以后，结果
And I asked, so how was the meeting?
那位歌星跟我讲，
And the singer told
我们
me,
见后以后，
after we met each other,
在饭店里面分开2个房间，他睡
we slept in 2 different rooms at the hotel.
没有睡在一起。
We didn't sleep
年
together.
轻的时候啊，
When they were
2个
young,
人是情侣。
they were lovers.
那菲律宾那个华侨以为说他
And the Filipino Chinese flying here thinking that she would be like when she was young, but when he saw her, oh no,
我说
you go to your room, I'll go to my room. They don't want to sleep together.
他跟我讲，
So she told
你
me,
年轻，不再是过去的，
it's not like the past,
就已经没有。
not when you were young, the feeling's gone.
所以年轻跟老不一样，
So youth and old age
这
are
个叫做
different.
知障，
That's called obscuration due to knowing.
是这样子。
You know, my past was like that,
但是我已经回不到过去，
but I could never go back to the past. You could never return to the past. Time is unforgiving. You can't be young again.
都是过去，都是过去。
It's all past.
这个是所知障。
That's obscuration due to knowing.
后来你见到
That's what you know. But later, what you see or what you encounter is different.
什么叫
That's
烦恼
obscuration due to knowing. And what is obscuration due to afflictions?
烦恼的太多了。
You have too much afflictions.
岁
Wealth, lust, sleep,
老病全部都是
fame, and food, old age, and illnesses are all
烦恼障
afflictions.
缠住你。
So you're bound by the obscuration
就是烦恼。
due to afflictions, like my recent eczema. They bound you.
全身起红豆冰了，
They're all
哪
red,
里有心情？
red spots all over my body. I have no interest in anything.
一点心情，什么心？以
No
前啊
interest in anything. In the
了无
past,
话
I had no, I'm totally carefree, but now I'm entangled
缠住了。
by this rash and hives and eczema.
我80年来
For 80 years,
到大，
ever since birth till now,
从来不用肥皂，
I never used soap when bathing, and my skin was great. I never
名
used
牌的化妆品
any
没有，
expensive
皮肤的
skincare or lotion or
皮
anything,
肤就是
nothing.
很好。
And the skin was
知
great.
道80年后
Who would have known that after 80
全
years,
身起红疹，就是
all red rashes all over the
就是
body,
红豆冰，怎么消都消不了。
and all red spots, very itchy, no matter what, they could not be eliminated.
这是烦恼障。
It was affecting me, and I was afflicted.
你这个
So
痒
that's
就不得了
obscuration due to
半夜你
afflictions.
都不能睡啊，只有睡
The itches was horrible that you could not sleep at night.
跑到人家家去睡，
So I would find some opportunities to sleep at other people's
不
places.
准跑去那里抹灰，
And then some people saw my car at some other place and accused me of something.
全身都是红豆冰呐、
How could that be? I had all the skin rashes all over my body.
脱光了很难看的。
I looked horrible
红豆冰棒当然很好吃哦，
without
是
clothes.
红豆冰棒
I'm like a red bean
痒啊， 一点都是红的。
ice cream pop, ice cream bar.
你要找地方
But it cannot be eaten. I have no interest in anything. I found my bed is dirty. It's
产生
infested.
烦恼，
So I feel afflicted.
很厌乐。
I despise my own body.
以前说这个还好，这个脸不会长，
In the past, I said that my face
没有
is
长在背上。
luckily they didn't show on my face or my back.
帮我医治手跟脚，
Now that my sister Shu Jin helped me with my arms and legs, and
手跟脚是好了，
it's almost there.
七八八，
And that's what they said.
还有稍微一点点。
Just a little bit left for the arms and legs.
是他自己讲，
And my sister Shu Jin told us that she was sent by the Venerable Elder Xu
笑
Yun.
话了。
That's a joke,
那
of
个
course,
不是我那个
because
蜂窝性组织
when I had cellulitis before, the Venerable Elder Xu Yun gave me blessing from the clouds. How come he did not bless you this time? So he sent Dharma Sister Shu Jin to bless me instead,
抹一抹，
to help me and put on some
好了七七八八。
stuff,
现在
some meds using a certain,
以前背部不长，
and now they grow on my
前面
back.
都医好了。
In the past, there was none on my back, but now they all on my back
跟脚跟小脚
and the lower
最
legs
后
and my back.
稍微还有，
There's still some
背
left.
跟脚医好，就
Once I control my back and
烦恼障才
feet,
会去除。
then I would eliminate my afflictions. So there are obscurations due to afflictions, due to knowing.
那个阿难尊者讲，
As is spoken by Ananda.
掌握
So everyone
缠住
are entangled by these two obscuration
烦恼障，
and also the wealth, lust,
缠住
fame, sleep, and food.
局常心性，因为不知道活性啊，
Because we do not know Buddha nature,
光明
the serene, luminous,
唯愿如来，希望
true mind.
释迦牟
I
尼
pray that the Tathagata Sakyamuni Buddha
安悯穷乐，
compassionately pity
妙明心，开我道眼。
our
释迦牟尼佛
destitution and helplessness
能
to
够
awaken our wondrously luminous mind and open our eye of the path.
什么是真正的妙明？
They hope that Sakyamuni Buddha
让
will
我
be compassionate and teach us what is the true,
亲近眼，
wondrously luminous true mind, so that our eyes can be open
阿难尊
to this
我们人都是被
as spoken by Ananda.
缠住，
Humans are all entangled by these two obscurations due to afflictions and knowing.
像手之障来讲好了，
About obscuration due to knowing, they are simple, like for example, for this eczema, everybody give me medicines.
可以卖。
I can open a drugstore now and sell them.
修经师姐讲，
My sister Shu Jin
乱
said,
抄，
you should not use what you like.
我什么都不敢动。
Then I don't dare to touch any of them.
昨天嘛，昨天吃饭的时候，
Yesterday during dinner,
昨天吃饭，昨天人家供餐，有一
or
瓶
2 days
跳水， 什么
or
名字都没有，白白
they give me a bottle of liquid medicine
一喷
and without any description or anything. And then he said, "This is excellent. You just use it, and then the skin would peel, and then you would have the new skin." And there's no name, no
像
description,
肥皂水一样，
and they looked like soap water,
他用那个就
a white
喷就好。
a bottle of white liquid. And he said he recovered from using that.
蛇粉都送来了，
And from Malaysia and Southeast Asia, they give me lots of snake powder. Right? You have it in Malaysia?
不要混了，
It looked like
不要混，干干的
payao powder. It's dry and you place it on your hand.
那都送来，
They give all those
2个
and the WV
日本
because I said so
他说不可以常
was from Japan. It cannot be
点
used
点上面，
frequently, only on the red areas and not too much.
另外含尼瓦的有一种
And Hanifa has a kind of essential oil
导致很有效，
that's very
导致
effective.
很有效不知道叫什么名字，
I don't know what it's
它
called.
是有牌的，是
It's
要
with a brand name.
在网络上
Has to be ordered on the
一般还
internet.
买不到，
Cannot be bought on the regular stores. Very
不
specially
会痒。
prepared essential oils so that it doesn't
另外还
itch.
有这个什么强力超级
And then there are extra super strength anti-itch
止痒膏，
ointment or lotion.
多了，
There are so many.
送了好多。
They give so many different kinds.
因为有些说擦了，
Some said,
马上止痒，过不久它又再来，
some
我就
stopped the itch right away, but then immediately it came back. Some stop it for 8 hours, for 12 hours.
修金师姐就
But Dharma Sister Xu Jun, just one person, helped me.
还好，
It's pretty good.
状况有改善。
It has improved.
这个就是烦恼障，
That's obscuration due to
另外还
affliction.
有很多手指障。我们
And there are many other obscurations due to
到底
knowing.
是什么成分，
I don't know the ingredients of
后来
these
会长什么
medicines
样子？你如果擦了，
and what would be the
让
effect.
它皮肤变薄，
So some you use and then would
当时是这
thin,
样，后来
your
会
skin
变
would
痒
become thinner, and some would become more or even itchier,
又会更厉害，
or would make it
就
worse,
腐烂了，
or would make it
完
rot. That would be
我
horrible.
们不敢用。
So I don't know if I dare to use or not.
这种是属于手指上，大家都有秘方，还有 lotion 也分好多种，
And everyone has their methods
有油性、
and
有
lotions.
水性的
There's some
啊，
made
有
with oil, some with water base, some with aloe vera, some with medicines, some without medicine, some
芦荟就不好，
pure aloe, some natural aloe, and they're all different kinds of
所以
aloe
我变成
vera.
将来我可能会变成皮肤科专家。
But in the future, I would become an expert
最
dermatologist
近因为自己本身湿疹以后啊，研究这些药物，
because after getting eczema, I studied
找类固醇的，
this medicine, some with steroids, some with antibiotics, some to reduce inflammations and swells, and some anti-itch,
每种药
and
物
many
都有
different medicines.
也是谢谢大家的关心。
Thank you for everyone's cares and concerns, and the doctors, Olivia from Canada.
加拿大的医生，他说师尊，
And she said, Sky Master, is there anything I can help? And I said, Shujin is treating me and just let her do it. And there's some improvement. And Dr. Li Jialing, Dr. Zheng Seng Long, they all came to ask, anything to help?
赶快传一个针，他说你需要什么药，我这里什么药都有。
And then send a text message, what kind of medicine do you want? I can give it to you.
好几个医生，还有信宽医生。
And then Dr. Jack Hong also came to my home to check
会产生什么样子的现象？
what are the causes and the symptoms. Our disciple in Seattle, Dr. Jack Hong.
还有那时候因为晚上睡眠不好，
And because my sleep was not great, I had swells on my gums, so Dr. Gui Ching Hong
把我牙齿再
helped me with my gums and teeth
然后再加
to
上
correct them and
他把牙
added something and filled something and took good care of my
他也
teeth.
帮
Dr. Gui Ching also helped.
我好多的医生，我们这里
So we had many doctors, disciples,
也都很紧张，
and also from Taiwan.
电话过来，
They were all very
又来了，
panicky and anxious and make phone calls. Oh, more message.
还有中医师、廖医师，
And also the Chinese doctor Liao who flew especially for it.
廖医师特别从台湾飞过来，然后给我准备那个药。
Dr. Liao flew from Taiwan
今天晚上
and prepared the medicine and said, you use this and you'll
听你的，
be better tonight.
擦了，
And I listened to him
更痒。
and I used it and it was itching even more that night.
他第二天呢，他跟我
And the second day he told me,
回到
sorry.
吃我的药就好。
And he said, take my medicine and you'll recover. And he left many bags of herbs
上一包，
or
他
medicine,
说
one bag in the morning, one bag at night. You should treat the
把
root
你身
cause,
上的排毒，
detox.
把你身上的毒排掉。我说我哪有那么毒？
I'm not that poisonous.
蛇，
I'm not a poisonous
我
snake.
身上的毒全部排掉。
Why do I want to detox? Then I have no more toxins.
还是吃了，
But I took them anyway.
连着3口，那个
So it's like a
那
powdered
个药很好。
medicine. And he said, that's wonderful.
对，他
So I took his Chinese
的
medicines.
药就是一包一包一包连起来，
The Taiwanese Chinese doctors have this packets of powdered herbs.
早上一包。
So 2 packets every day, once in the morning, once at night.
那个我不敢涂了，
But I don't dare to use
不要死。
the ointment on the skin because it was itching so bad.
他说湿疹最好的药，
He said that's the best medicine for eczema.
廖医师啊，
Dr. Liao.
好多医生，
So we had so many doctors
谢
helping.
谢大家。
So thank you, everyone.
另外还有针灸的，
And also the one that's
孔良友帮我针，
helping with
那
acupuncture.
个领就108针，
Kong Liang Yu
18针啊
put 18 needles and I just added the 0.
18针
But she insisted, no, it's only 18, not
最
108.
怕针的哎，
I'm most
真的
scared
没办法
of
针
needles.
的
I only used them when I had no other ways.
你知道那个时候哦，
Do you know
晚上不能睡的情况到什么程度？
the situation when I couldn't sleep at
以前
night?
医生帮我弄牙齿的时候，
That when I
啊
was seated on the dental chair, taking care of my teeth and grinding and tapping and filling and taking care of the teeth was very noisy, and yet I fell asleep.
看累成这样，
See how tired I
牙
was,
齿能够睡着，
that I could fall asleep while
恐怕也是很难。
having my teeth taken
针灸我
care
就
of
睡着了，
and also doing
帮
acupuncture,
我针灸我就睡着了，
and I fell asleep.
人家都不相信，说针灸还能够睡，
They didn't believe me.
打下去你还能够睡，
How could you fall asleep with the needles on you? But I did.
可见累了，
So I was so tired then.
这个就是烦恼障。
So that's obscuration due to afflictions and obscuration due to knowing.
其实我们
Lots of problems.
也相当多，
So we have lots of obscurations due to
相
knowing.
当困难。
You need to understand. It's very difficult to understand Buddha nature. Sakyamuni Buddha will talk about it later. He uses analogies
讲出佛性，
to describe Buddha nature.
下一次再讲。现在有点
It will in the future. Now it's 5:57 already.
谢谢大家。
Thank you, everybody.
非常